So it has been a little bit over 9 years since I started this YouTube journey. On August 1st, 2013, I uploaded my first video, which is absolutely horrendous if you look at it right now, but for back then it was kind of okay. I wanted to share my passion for scale modeling with others. I've been doing so on the forums for a couple of years at that point, and just sharing photos simply wasn't enough. I myself wanted to see what others were actually doing instead of a photo from the process here and there, and more so go into their mind and actually follow along with what they're doing one to one. So there was a TV show in Japan or China back then that also was featured on YouTube here and there, following along with some of the professional model builders, and that kind of lit my fire. There were some other hobbyists on here as well, showing some videos, but not really all that many, and I figured I could do that as well and try to grow something out of it, and that is where I started off. The first couple of videos were mainly just tutorials on stuff I figured would translate really well on video and help a lot of others out. From there it grew to video build series, and eventually after a couple of years I also started adding voiceover and going more in depth with every build I do, and also showing even more tutorials and techniques I learned and picked up along the way. This all was going really well for a number of years, but at some point the channel plateaued. And that is when I started trying out new things. I was getting into a lot of 3D printing stuff, which I myself really enjoy from the technical side and also just simply for the love of those machines, and wanted to share with you guys. So that is what I started to do. I wrote up a couple of emails to a couple companies out there. Most of them didn't reply, but Elegoo did, and they sent out their first machine. From there, that grew pretty exponentially, and I have been getting machines multiple a month, and sometimes even a couple a week at certain points in time. Now that was maybe a little bit much, as I myself am more interested in the 3D printing side of things than a lot of the viewers on my channel seem to be. So some of the videos did really well, others didn't really go all that well, but nonetheless I still want to continue doing that and growing that. Now for that, I decided to open a new channel so I don't bother the guys watching these videos for scale modeling here, but just doing that to a different output. It gained a little bit of attraction from some of the promotion that I did through my other videos, announcing the channel and also uploading a video. Now of course, as you would expect, or as I should have expected, that video didn't really do all that well, as it wouldn't really do all that well on my normal channel, so why would it do better on a channel with not that many subscribers or that big of an audience? So after a couple of weeks of letting that sit and thinking about it, I decided to close that channel down and just put my attention into the scale modeling channel. Now this channel, to be very clear, is about my passions, and a lot of my passion is cars, scale modeling, 3D printing, laser engraving, and all of the techniques that I can implement into the scale modeling. Scale modeling itself is a pretty wide term and has lots of different aspects to it. Now myself, as you will probably know, am pretty simply focused on cars. I love cars. I live, breathe, eat, sleep cars, and some other things, but mostly cars. So that of course is what I'm doing on my channel. I build scale model cars. Now I will eventually probably do a bike or two here and there. I have some kits that I really think are super cool and I would love to build, but then again, the main passion is cars, so that is what I always tend to go back to. Now going back to the 3D printing side of things, I try to implement them as much as I can into scale modeling, and specifically the car side of things, as I've probably already mentioned a couple times too many, but I like cars and I want to stick to that mostly, as I've already said a couple of times. Now, nevertheless, 3D printing. So all of the 3D printing and laser engraving reviews that I have done so far, I have tried to implement a sort of aspect and focus on scale modeling in general, and therefore also kind of lost interest in that itself, as trying to implement it to a specific group of products, in this case the model cars or my workbench or even upgrading my warehouse here and there, has limited what I could do with these machines, and therefore also probably dulled down the interest of my viewers onto those machines themselves. So from this point forward, I'm not specifically going to be doing reviews on those machines focusing on the scale modeling or model cars. I'm just going to mainly focus on the machines themselves, use it for projects around the house, around the warehouse, maybe even on the workbench here and there, but overall just focus on the review side of things and make the reviews better instead of just trying to implement them into the building side of things. So that is going to be changing on those. I will just be uploading the reviews. You don't really have to expect the scale modeling aspect, more so just a look on the machine and a fair assessment if it is any good, what you can do with it in general, and just show some results. Same goes for the laser engravers and cutters. I've been getting a lot of these in as well since I accepted the first one. Again, just like the printers, it has expanded a lot, and I'm getting multiple of these a month at this point. Now, just to make something very clear, if I do have a specific idea I can use one of these printers or these lasers for on a specific scale modeling build, like printing a full kit, or maybe even cutting out a diorama with one of these lasers, I will do that, of course. I still have a couple of ideas that I want to use these machines for, and those videos will be coming up, but don't specifically expect them to be about scale modeling. Just see this laser engraving in 3D printing side of things as an extra to the channel for the ones that are interested in this technique and these items as well. If you are not interested in these videos at all, feel free to skip them. No need to complain or mention it at any point. Just watch the videos you want to watch. That is the beauty of YouTube, and there is plenty of scale modeling specific content to come on the channel and will still be the main focus. Now, all of these lasers and printers that I've been showing you on the channel have been sent out by these companies for me to test and showcase on the channel for free. I have not paid for any of these machines, and most of them I have kept. They just gave it to me. Do what you want. It's yours. Now, there are some machines coming up in the future that I have for a period of time and will need to be sent back, but that will all be made clear in those videos. They are not paying me to say or do anything. They simply are asking me to show certain aspects of the machines and highlight a couple of things here and there. Now, if I do get paid for content, I will check the box and YouTube will make it very clear that I am, but that has only happened a handful of times. So in the mainstream of things, I'm not getting paid for these machines, and I'm just getting them for free and not getting paid to do any of the work either. That in itself is, of course, fantastic. These machines normally are very expensive, and I simply get them for free. However, it is very important to keep in mind that free stuff doesn't pay for anything. I still have to put in the work into testing those machines, creating the videos, and with those videos then earning my income. Speaking of income, I also wanted to give you guys a bit of an inside look at what is actually going on behind the scenes financially. So there is a pretty big misconception. YouTubers with a couple 100,000 subscribers earn lots of money, don't really have to work all that much, and just put out a video every now and again, and that is it. In my case, that couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, I'm earning a pretty fair amount of money for just sitting on my ass and building scale models, editing a couple of videos and posting them on YouTube, but then again, with the time that goes into it, I would probably be better off just going to work for a boss full time. So my week is divided into 7 days, just like everyone else on this planet, but in those 7 days, about 5 days of that week are spent on the channel. Not full days, but a lot of hours every day are spent on the channel, building the models, creating the videos. And for those videos, I'm earning some money, but we'll get to that a bit later. I'm also running the scale modeling channel Webshop since the beginning of this year again, and trying to build that up. I'm not earning any money from that as it's a starting business, and I want to grow the inventory and create the best possible webshop for you guys, specifically related to the model car building. But that leaves 2 days free, and with those 2 free days, I'm working for an employer doing 2 12-hour days on average. Now, there are some days that are a little shorter and other days are a little longer, but with that job, I'm creating a steady income for myself and my wife for the household to run and of course to live off of. Now my wife also has a full-time job, she's earning just fine, and all is good right here. However, for me this isn't a really get-rich-quick type of scheme. Yes, I could jump in a lot of those annoying ads here and there for some stupid video games that you don't want to play, some stupid websites that you don't really want to go to, or just shaving appliances for your pubic hair, which nobody really cares about. Those do pay a lot of money, but I don't think they fit in with my channel that well, and that resonates with the ones that I've tried in the past. Not getting any response from you guys whatsoever, so that isn't something that is working on my channel and not something I can rely on. So instead, I'm simply relying on YouTube views and the YouTube AdSense agreement, and that is what we're going to talk about now. With YouTube, there are some ads being shown around the videos. I don't really have any say on which ads are being shown where. That all has to do with the internet surfing you guys are doing and the ads that should technically be interesting for you that are shown through the algorithms and all of the cookies and some technical stuff out there. I simply just turn them on and YouTube does the rest. So if there are a lot of ads in a video, I simply have nothing to do with that. That is all onto YouTube. I just turn them on and leave it there. And with that, I am earning money. So to give you a bit of perspective on how much money I actually earn, let's start it from the beginning and show what I have earned in the last 9 years in total. Now yes, that indeed says 64,189 euros and 1 cent. Now keep in mind that is over a time span of 9 years, not yearly, not monthly, 9 years in total. I have created around 1,000 videos, I believe, and posted pretty consistently over that period. Now it all started somewhere right here in August 2013, and that is now about 9 years ago, plus or minus a little bit. Of course, the first years didn't really generate all that much, and after I believe about 5 years I started to make a pretty significant amount of money, thinking that I could actually do something with this. And with that I mean take time off of my normal job and focus more on the scale modeling side of things to try and expand it and grow it and make more money that way, so maybe I could even do it full-time eventually. Now with the web shop running on the side back then, I did a couple of times try to go full-time, but YouTube was so incredibly inconsistent month to month that I couldn't rely on that whatsoever. So just to show you for the last couple of months, this is the current month of August. I'm not really making all that much money. I'm also not really posting all that many videos as I'm really busy with the house, other stuff all around it, focusing on the web shop, creating stuff over there, of course, and working on the main channel itself. Now, the past couple of months, YouTube has been in a downward spiral. I'm not doing all of those viral things, posting shorts, and doing the things that the young kids want to see these days. I'm simply focusing on what I like to do, and that is the building of cars, making the videos, checking out a couple of 3D printers, laser engravers, and all of the stuff that I've been talking about in this video. Now the month before that was pretty good or okay, regular so to speak, and if we go even further back and back, it gets better and better. So at the moment, a downward spiral. My views are cut in half, so if you just go back to the regular dashboard, over here you can see I have a total of 174,000 views for the last month. Now that isn't really all that great for my channel. Over the last couple of years it has done an average of between 400 and 800,000. So it is half of a really good month, or sorry, it's even less than a fourth of a really good month and even less than half as it has been doing regularly for the last couple of years. Now this isn't really all that motivating, if I'm honest, and I need to make money, so I have to work on other things as well. I'm taking on commissions here and there, but I simply do not enjoy those, so I have decided to finish the ones that I have and don't accept any new ones. I want to build for me, I want to build with the companies that I like working with, and focus on that and not just taking a little bit of money for painting a car for someone else or building a model for someone else that isn't really paying all that well, and I could probably just work for my employer and make more money in a day's work there than I would in a couple of days painting a model for someone else. So I'm not going to be doing that anymore. So these numbers are pretty depressing, and they have been so for months on end at this point. Now it hasn't always been like that, so if we just go back to the analytics side of things and have a look at what it used to be. Last year, strangely enough, was my best year ever, or my best year so far in the 9 years that I've been doing it. This year is going to be far worse. As you can see, some of the numbers from last year are almost double of what they are this year so far, specifically peaking in November, that being my best month to date in the last 9 years. Now keep in mind this is in euros, and this is also before tax. So I just get this money, I need to pay my insurance, the electrical bill, buy all the supplies, so forth and so forth. And then of course at the end of the year I have to pay taxes as well. So this might seem like a pretty significant amount of money, which it is, but after doing all of the other things, this is divided by 2, and that is roughly what I'm left with. And that is on a good month, so go figure what I'm thinking this month. Now, nonetheless, I'm not complaining whatsoever. This is a really cool job, but keep in mind, if something is or was a hobby and you're turning that into your job, you now have to do it instead of you wanting to always do it, and that does change a couple of things here and there, specifically mentally. Now, alongside those ads that I was talking about that I'm not going to be doing anymore in the future, unless they offer silly money, then I will, and I'm sorry for that, but free money is always nice to have. I could also rely on those subscription type things. I do have the paid subscription on for YouTube, and that is all up to you guys if you want to do that or not. I'm not really pushing it and showing it all the time and putting a focus on that. Same for the Patreon. I have both, but it is all up to you guys if you want to help out and support, and it's really, really appreciated. If you do, it does make the income a little bit steadier, but at this point, with the amount of people that I have, and thank you all for doing that if you are, it's not really making a dent in my income all that much. So I really do hope that this gives you a good insight in what is going on, why I'm doing certain things, and why I'm also changing it pretty much completely and going back to what I want to do instead of focusing on what others want me to do or want to see. So after years and years of just focusing on doing pretty much anything anyone wants to see, building cars, building race cars that I personally don't really like, and other stuff, nothing really seems to be working. Specifically, every now and again, a certain video like the 3D printing of the Morgan does really well. If every video did this well, I'd be doing pretty good, but as you can see, this is just an exception of the rule, as lots of other videos are not really doing all that great. Now, nonetheless, not complaining, just letting you guys know what is going on and how I'm feeling about certain things and why I'm going to do things that I want to do and the things that you're going to be seeing on the channel. So the 3D printing, again, one of my passions. The laser engravers, super interesting. And also the scale modeling is everything I'm going to be combining into the channel once again and just doing pretty much what I want to do. If you guys have any specific questions about any other reasoning, maybe some things that I didn't talk about, feel free to leave a comment down below. I personally am just looking for a bit more personal happiness, as like I said, the numbers on the channel were a bit depressing, and specific jobs that I was doing for other people also a little bit depressing. So I'm just trying to finalize a lot of those things. They do take a little bit of time, and I want to get fired up and ready to go do my own thing once more. So again, nothing really major is going to change, but now you guys do know what is going on, what I'm going through, and how tough this can be as a full-time job, as the income fluctuates month to month and isn't as good as it might seem from the outside. Now, to close all of this off, you might be wondering, why the f is this guy sharing all of this information with us? Well, since you guys are my community and also because you're watching my videos, I do feel a sort of obligation to give you an insight on the actual day-to-day workings and what is going on in the channel. So the past couple of months it hasn't really been going all that well, in a downward spiral as I've shown, and that is mentally not really rewarding and kind of tough on myself. Now I of course have talked about this with all of my loved ones, my friends, my family, and so forth. But since they are not really my audience and you guys are, I figured I'd owe it to you guys as well to share this behind the scenes look. Now, not only that, I did have a lot of emails from very concerned viewers that they used to enjoy my channel back in the day, and it seems that I'm fading from that a little bit. So this video hopefully gives a bit more insight in why that is happening, and also what is happening and why certain things are being done a certain way. Then my final thought that I wanted to get out, I have been getting some pretty mean comments lately on some videos that I'm showing way too much products, that I'm getting paid for everything, and that I'm promoting all of these companies. And the actual truth behind it is that most of the products shown in the videos is bought and paid for by me. I'm just showing you guys what I'm using, and I'm not getting paid for it by those companies. And I'm 9 out of 10 times not even in contact with these companies. They probably don't even know that I exist. Yes, some of the reoccurring companies like Revell, USCP, Alpha Model, etc., they do send me some kits that I'm sharing with you, but I'm making that fairly clear. All of the other products like the glues, the accessories, etc., I'm paying for myself, and if I don't, then you will probably get a notification about that. I'm simply just sharing what I have and what I use with you guys to make it easier for you to find it all and use it on your own builds if you like. I'm just advising and not telling you to buy certain stuff. Now that's it for this one. On the next video I will be doing another mail time video showing you a couple of the plans that I have and some of the products that I have received from various companies and that I will be working with on future projects. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this inside look interesting. And again, if you have any questions or want to contact me, feel free to leave a comment down below or send me an email. Thank you guys for the past 9 years, and I plan on doing many more if you guys want to stick with me for that.